All right, guys. So I'm about to share my screen. There you have it, guys. This is when Mark was at like $582,000 in sales. He's at like $800,000 in something in sales. So shout out to Mark. He's going crazy. And again, he's one of the coaches in my program. So those of you guys that decided to invest in yourself today, and those of you guys that decided to invest in yourself yesterday, Mark is one of the people that you're actually going to have access to help you with your Amazon journey. Like imagine having access to someone that makes over $800,000 a year on Amazon, right? That's literally priceless. I can hear you, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. What's going on?
What's going on, Mark? Man, let everyone know, like, how long ago was it that you started Amazon?
I started August 1st last year. I actually had started May before that, May of last year. I just totally bombed. And then I came across EDU and I joined August 1st last year.
Okay, let's talk about that then. Let everyone know what happened when you started before getting into EDU and everything. Kind of just let everyone know your journey, how you started, your failures, so they can learn from it, and where you're at now. And if you don't mind,
Yeah.
maybe showing us like what you're doing currently on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Hopefully you've been getting value, but I just want to let you know right now that if you go down to the link in the description, we still have spots left for this month to work directly with you on helping you make money on Amazon by selling name brand products like you see on the screen right here. All right. So again, if you're watching this and you have at least $5,000 to $10,000 or you got a 650 credit score that you can leverage to get credit cards to be able to buy products like this, go down below, click the link in the description and watch that short training that I put together on how you can get started right now and make money on Amazon. All right. So I'm gonna let you get back to the video. See you soon.
All right. Well, my name is Mark. I started August 1st last year. Before that, I was working for the city of Philadelphia and I worked in a cubicle. It was the bane of my existence. Right. And then COVID happened. And I figured, all right, I'm going to use this opportunity to figure out something that I can do something from home on my own time. I don't have to be in a cubicle. I learned a few things. Then when COVID ended, I come from an Italian family and my grandmother rules the roost. Okay. She's like all of 4'9". She's the boss. She's so Italian. She has like mustache and sideburns. She's the whole deal. And her thing is always listen to the family, never listen to anyone inside the family. So I have gone my whole existence of not listening to anything anyone else had to say. So I was stuck in that rut of all my uncles, my 80-year-old uncles, listen to whatever they had to say. Okay. So then COVID ends and I was like, all right, I want to try something different. So you know how you Google stuff and it's suddenly an ad on Facebook or social media. So came across all the Amazon gurus, and I'm notoriously cheap. So going what my grandmother said, never pay someone for what you could do yourself. So I would take the free webinars and I would take as many notes as I can. Then I would jump on YouTube, try to fill in the blanks myself and do it myself. So I did that, started an Amazon store in May of last year and put 17 products up, thinking I know what I was doing by the information this guy on YouTube told me, and I bombed. 17 products, 15 flopped totally. I lost so much money. The only two that sold were seasonal stuff, so they stopped. And then I just lost my shirt. So I was like, all right, I've been doing the same thing all my life. Got to do something different. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm listening to my uncles, these guys. You ever notice when you're an adult, you look back on your childhood and you say, why didn't I think of that when I was a kid? I went my whole life listening to my uncles telling me, do it yourself, and never realized all these 80-year-old guys, they never had jobs. They hung in corner stores and played cards all day. So I was like, what am I doing? So I needed to do something different. I was like, all right, so what am I going to do? So I did the Google thing again and all the gurus came up again. And then there was Will's ad. And I'm thinking, have you ever seen Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, when he goes into that chamber and has to pick the right cup? You know what I mean? And all the cups have the jewels and all shiny. And he picks the one cup up and he's like, this is the cup of a carpenter. Will's ad was the only ad that didn't promise me I would work 2 hours drinking cocktails on a beach. He said, I'll give you the tools. I'll give you everything you need to succeed. But you have to put in the work. And I was like, all right, that's the cup of a carpenter. So I chose EDU. And literally from jump, started August 1st. The very next day, the coaches were contacting me saying, what are you doing? You don't slack off, like that kind of stuff. So they're always on me. And then the curriculum just laid out. And each one was a piece, a building block, a puzzle. And I just started learning so much. In my first month, I made $10,000 in my first month.
First 30 days, $10,000.
And $10,000 my first 30 days. And then the next month, in the next 30 days, I made $50,000.
50,000 in 1 month?
No, total. I did my total. Oh, the 2 months now is up to 50,000 over 60 days. And then it just went up for there. The more I learned, I'm thinking, okay, now this is the way I got to go. So now I gave all over and I just threw myself totally into it. Okay. And so the next month, and then what I was taught, like there's the bread and butter products, the ones that get you through the whole year, no matter what time of year it was. And then I was like, I need to consider the stuff that are going to make you scale. Like, how do you go up instead of just, being like this all year? How do you go up? And it was like the holidays and the events, back to school, fall sports, like all these things that help you scale. And I learned all that and I like jumped right into it. And I grew so quick. I had been working out of my house. I live in a row home in South Philly, so I had the products I was selling, I'm shipping out. And then once they packed them and shipped them, I had all the inventory and that all together in one house. So in my third month, I had to move out and get a location. I had to get a storage facility. I was working out of the storage facility and then I needed help. I couldn't do it. I was doing it myself and then I needed help. So I went to local colleges, put things up on their student boards, asking for help, teach a business, that kind of stuff. I got 12 kids, got help. Then Christmas just went through the roof. Then after the holidays, they didn't come back. So I needed help again. I coached Special Olympics in South Philly. So I got some of I got some of my athletes, they work for me now. They work full time. I pay them $15 an hour. I'm in the state of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania got rid of their after school services. So like they don't have any social skills anymore, no job training. So now they work for me. They have a great job. They like it. So I have some of them doing my admin work for me. By April, I had already made $816,000 in sales. By April.
That's crazy.
Now we had gotten floods. We were flooded out. We had a mice problem. So I was like, okay, we were in our third location by April. I was like, all right. So now I was in one of the coaching sessions and one of the coaches said, try and get your own property. So got my own property, built everything ourselves. We did electric, we did everything. So I literally had to close for 4 months. We just started again in the middle of September. And this year, we're already at missing 4 months, already at like 516,000 this year.
Sheesh.
Yeah. And I do FBM. When I started out, I literally, because I lost all the money when I first started with the previous Amazon store, I started FBM because I literally started with $300. That's all I had to my name after losing all that money. I literally had $300. So I had to do FBM. I couldn't do FBA. I couldn't afford to buy products in advance. And I took everything that I learned. There's just so much information. I was like, I cannot believe that it took me this long. I wasted all this time listening to like my family and all these people who were telling you can't do that, or that's not good, or that's a scam. And when I took that leap, I was like, I can't believe I wasted all these years not listening to somebody that could actually help. And it worked. You guys see that? This was as of April. The middle of April is kind of when we had all the leaks and stuff. I had to close my store after that. But up till April, we had made $860,000 from August 1st of the previous year.
Yeah,
and this is, yeah. And then this, you guys see that? That's this year to date, 521,000, and that's including the missing 4 months. Missing 4 months as we were building our new location. So this works. It worked for me, and like I said, I was starting with FBM, and my goal was to transition to FBA. And I learned so many tools that I just stuck with it. I could afford now to pay people. I could afford to get my own location. I don't have to rent a storage facility or rent a location that leaks and all that. And one other thing that I learned is, this system is always evolving. Like Will and the staff keep it evolving. They've added a credit guy, a credit expert, money managers. And you guys have met, I don't know if you guys have been yesterday's, if you met Trells. One of my biggest problems was procrastination. And as much as I learned and put it into action, I say, okay, I could do this now. I could do this and I'm good at it. My biggest problem was freaking procrastination. I would get up and lay and stay after stealing. And now he's added Trells as a mindset coach into this as another added feature. And I learned so much from Trells to get my mind working correctly. He's not a business coach. He keeps your mind right to do business. And that was like the biggest bonus of everything I've learned. I think that was the biggest added bonus to everything I've already learned to keep me moving forward.
Wow, man. Yeah, you're definitely like doing it, man. And I think the key is that like I said earlier, is you took immediate action. Even before you found out about me, you were at least trying. You were at least trying to make it work. And sometimes we're just missing that key piece of information to really take us to the next level. Or sometimes we're missing that key person too. I tell people all the time, like sometimes we're not one gem away, we're one person away. And when you're thinking about investing into coaching or investing into a mentorship or a program, think about it this way. Sometimes we're not investing into the information itself, but we're investing into the network, right?
Yeah.
You might meet someone that takes you to the next level. You might meet a coach that you form a real relationship and a bonding with, and that by itself takes you to the next level. I remember like 2 years ago, I invested $7,000 to go to a mastermind in Miami. And at the time, that $7,000 was a lot of money to me. It was the most I've ever spent on myself at the time. And I remember going, and, you know, there was good information for sure. I learned a lot of things, but what actually completely changed my life was the fact that I met 2 people at that event that I ended up working with. And through those 2 people, we made millions of dollars together. So it wasn't actually the information I learned at the event itself. It wasn't actually like the speaker that made me a lot of money. It was actually the network there. It was 2 people that I met at that event, which obviously when you are connected with people that also spent money on themselves, you're being connected with people that are like-minded and are investors and are business-minded. So it's already like a higher level network that you're surrounding yourself with. Well, the 2 people that I met there, I've made millions of dollars with them. And that event changed my life again, not from the information that I got, not from the speaker, but from the network alone that I got from it. So that's what I tell people all the time is like, when you're investing into something, when you're trying to get into a program, mentorship, whatever, think about the people that you're going to meet. You never know. You might meet your next business partner, you know, and that by itself could be worth the whole investment.
Yeah,
But,
listen, I'm not even lying. 1 year ago, I'm not even lying. 1 year ago, I was that guy who would never have even thought of giving someone money, a coach or a guru or a mentor. I was that guy who said everything's a scam, you know, all those years with my grandma. I was that guy who would say I would never do that. And the fact that I did it, and I was like, I can't believe I hadn't done it already. It was a revelation.
yeah, you can only grow to what you've been exposed to. And sometimes we're exposed to bad habits and bad information. And that's why we're stuck where we're at. And you got to grow out of that to reach new levels. So guys, realize that if you're not where you want to be, it's because it's not meant to be, right? You have the ability, but it's up to you. It's up to you to make the decision. It's up to you to change your habits. It's up to you to change the people that you're around, because there's power in proximity. You know, one thing that I love about investing in myself and going to masterminds and, you know, buying programs is the proximity. I know that I'm around people that care enough about themselves to invest in themselves just like me, right? A lot of us are taking bad advice from people that aren't even at the level that we want to be at, right? You know, my brother Neo, he talks about this all the time. He was like, you know, his grandma used to tell him like, yo, Neo, don't travel. Like, it's dangerous. He's been over 55 different countries now, and he has employees in these different countries now. And if he would have listened to his grandma, even though that's the most important person to him in his life, he would have been limited to doing those experiences, right? A lot of times we're listening to people that aren't getting the results that we want, and it's holding us back, right? I would never take business advice from my mom, even though I love her to death, because my mom's not a millionaire, right? So remember that when you're taking advice from people. Remember that when you're, you know, trying to follow in footsteps of other people and you're trying to make decisions, only base your decisions off of advice given from people that you want to be like.